in life. And that is why you are giving us these products. Let me assure you that in Nyandarua, tuko na wewe. Tuko na Family Bank. Na tuko na hizi programs that you are bringing to us. Thank you very much. We love you. God bless you. Thank you.
She's not just a politician, she's a singer as well. Honorable Faith Gitau, thank you so much. And calling upon Senator Tabitha Mutinda to also address us. Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Senator Tabitha Mutinda, nominated Senator Nairobi County by the ruling party, the government party, UDA. I'm very delighted to be here this particular morning as a young woman in leadership and also an entrepreneur. I want to thank the chairman, Titus Muya. I want to thank the CEO, Madam Rebecca Mbidi, for the leadership that you offer. And a bank being led by a woman in this city, we are very proud of that. I know time is not on our side. I will not waste it. I want to appreciate Family Bank, and I think the reason you've called us together as women is one, to appreciate being a woman. It is very beautiful. Ama kesho kiamka upate umekuwa pande ile ingine maneno inakuwa ngumu. So we really appreciate on that, and thank you so much for seeing that and giving women space. I love it when you call it the queen, because you are a queen. I don't want to talk so much about my journey. If I will, I'll use 1 second and say that for me, I'm among the last borns. And by the time I was having dreams to pursue education, money was not there. That is the disadvantage of being the last, because pesa ilikuwa imeisha. But I didn't give up. I hustled and I was able to join University of Nairobi. Very important. I did my first degree with a lot of struggles. A lot of struggles. Long story short, I'm currently doing my PhD international business. You can be where you want to be as women. Let nobody stop your dream. Let nobody stop your dream. Family Bank now has come in to offer even us a bigger package, now to elevate and become the next CEOs of this nation. Currently, as I speak, I'm a CEO of Novamont Kenya Limited. You can be anything you want to be. Take this opportunity that Family Bank is offering and run with it. It is great. They've talked about it being a secure. I know they have very beautiful products. What I want to encourage you, let nobody tell you that you cannot be able to do it. If you've done a business courses, you know what we used to call PESTEL. And I want to tell you, put yourself in an environment that suits you for your dream, that suits you for what you want to achieve as a woman. I want to state that I'm the one who's going to now wind up by opening this account, because I don't have any account in Family Bank. Na mambo iko namna hii. Mambo ni matatu. Namna hii. I represent Nairobi. Nairobi has 85 wards, 17 constituencies. Each ward has, in the 85 wards, I have actually one of the women in my office who handles women matters. She's called Helen. Thank you, Helen. And each ward, we have grouped 25 women who are leaders, and I'm personally supporting them in table banking. 25 multiplied by 85 is over 2,000. Mambo ya pili iko namna hii. Those women have called and told me, Senator, hii pesa imekuwa mingi. Tutaweka wapi? Pesa imekuwa mingi. Mambo ya tatu, mambo ya mwisho, ningeomba Family Bank iweze kukaa na those women as early as next week. You open for them their accounts. And that is what I can be able to request, because I'll continue supporting them. It's my joy to see women moving from one step to the other. May God bless Family Bank. May God bless each and every man and woman who's in this house. Asanteni.
Can we give Senator Mutinda one more round of applause, and to all of the women ably representing us in the political scene. It is not easy. So thank you so much for not dumbing down your voices and using them to empower not just the women, but the communities that you serve. Now, I'd like to call for you to rise up again. Do you know who's in the house? Who's going to be on that stage? Madam Wahoo. The floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Check, check. Hey, ladies. Hey. Hey. How you all doing? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Semeni. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so excited to be here with you all today. You can take your seats kidogo. Mimi naitangwa mama girls. Mama Tumiso, Mama Nyakeo, Mama Shiro, all of them are mine. I'm also Mrs. It's about time we got her name, We have been married for 18 years, guys. Our marriage just turned an adult this September. It can vote. And I'm excited to be here with such powerful women. I'm all about women empowerment. I always have been. And I love the energy. Yani ku supportiana. Yeah? Sindio, tujipikieni makofi. I think Family Bank, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you for supporting us, ladies. And thank you, ladies, for being willing to just pave your own ways forward. In other words, hatutishiki. Sindio? Hatufanya nini? Hey, 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 hey. Are we ready? This man, he think he's a Casanova. He think he's an operator. White like the money is fly, but maringo yako. Hey, kidogo, guys. Ama munatishika. Mko sure? Sitishiki, wewe hunitishi. Na hizo hazifanyi nini? What? Sizubai, hunisubaishi. Na hizo what? Hey, let's go. This man, think he's a Casanova. He think he's an operator. Why like the man, he is fly, but maringo yako ya boesha. He's showing off with his fancy car. He's showing off with his fancy house. Kosa lako kosa ni moja. Wafikiri wanitisha.
Sitishiki.
What?
Sizubai.
Where are my independent ladies in the house?
Haziti.
Atufanye nini?
Sitishiki. Sizubai. Hizo hela zako.
Tuimbe pamoja. Sitishiki.
Wewe hunitishi.
Na hizo
Hela zako.
hazifanyi nini?
Hazinitishi.
Sizubai.
Hunizubaishi.
Na hizo hela
Zako.
hazifanyi nini?
Hazinitishi.
Mikono juu kama utishiki. Mikono juu. Ladies. Wapinduru wewe. Listen. Anicheki chini na juu. Asema I'm fine and sexy too. So he buy me a drink or two and expect me to go home with you. Songa nyuma, take a good look. Songa mbele, pole. Wewe. Sitishiki. Sizu. Hizo hela zako. Wapi nduru zake? Sitishiki. Sizubai. Hizo hela zako. Let's go, ladies.
Sitishiki. Wewe hunitishi. Na hizo hela
Hazifanyi nini?
hazinitishi.
Sizu.
Zubai.
Huni.
Zubaishi.
down. Wakijaribu kukutisha. Tell them, I'm a lady in business. I make my own money. I can do this on my own. And I have Family Bank to support me. Au sio? Nimesikia wakisema wakona 7 million unsecured. Iyo ili register. So we shall be having a discussion because we want support to go forward. Sindio? Hey, Siti Shiki.
Wewe hunitishi.
Na hizo
Hela zako.
hey, hazini
Tishi.
sizo
Bali.
huni
Tubaishi.
na hizo hela
Zako. Hazini.
What?
Tishi.
Siti
Shiki.
wewe
Hunitishi.
na hizo hela.
Zako.
Pande hii ni kama mnatishika kidogo. Sizo Gavani Gavani na hizo hela wewe sitishiki, wewe huni na hizo hela zako hazini sizo hunizuba na wewe hatutishiki sisi, au sio? Make some noise for all yourselves. Congratulations. Good to see you too. Hey, DJ, ati DJ. Nimesoea sana. Band, take it down, take it down, take it down. Hey, obviously you can tell I'm used to performing with a DJ. Imekuja. Default DJ. I'm like, oh, band. Give it up. Have you guys noticed this is an all-girl band? How beautiful is that? Hey, hata hawa tishiki. You guys are amazing. I've told you from day one. Hey, okay. All right. Because of time, nimeambiwa I keep it brief. So before I leave, I want us to sing this one song together. Which song should I do? Just one. Huh? About love. About love. By the way, if you didn't know, my youngest daughter is about to turn 1 in October. She is the light of our life. She makes us so happy. My firstborn is 17, turning 30, because of all the opinions and how we should change this world. Mom, why are girls staying out of school because they don't have sanitary towels? What can I do? Those are the things she tells me. I wonder where she got that from. My second-born is 10 and she just joined the soccer team. So I'm so proud of her. She's like, yeah, Mom, if a boy can do it. Yeah, again, I wonder where she got that from. Yes, and Shiro is our joy. Thank you for those who share with us on our journey on social media. We really appreciate you guys so much. I may not respond to all the messages and all the comments, but truly, 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 it makes us so happy. Gives us a feeling of love. Yeah, we'll sing this song together. And it's a feeling in my sio kama mapenzi. Said it's a feeling in my soul. Sio kama mapenzi. I think they're ready. I think they are ready. We'll sing this song together, Cindio. Okay, let's do this. Yeah. Let me see your hands up in the air if you feel love. Actually, let's stand and dance together. Cindio. To stretch kidogo, right? I feel love, love, love. Yeah. Such a sweet feeling to feel love. Yeah. Listen, I've been spending all of my days spending all of my night trying to visualize my sweet love. Mikono juu ya hewa. Hey. Yeah. Sweet love, love, love. Sweet love, love, love. Sijui nisemeje. I know I sound a little crazy. 'Cause I am not sentimental. Ever since you came my way, my whole life has changed. And I do not regret. I can't hear myself on the microphone. Sweet love, my sweet love, 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 love. Tuimbe chorus pamoja. Sindio? And it's a feeling in my heart, feeling in my soul, feeling me up from my head to my toes. Sio kama mapenzi, mapenzi siezi. Then it's a feeling in my heart, feeling in my soul, feeling me up from my head to my toes. Sio kama mapenzi, mapenzi siezi. Kuelewa kabisa. Mimi sielewi kabisa. Yeah. Listen, when I say sweet, you say love. Sweet love, sweet love. When I say sweet, you say love. Sweet love, sweet love. Mara kwa mara najipata kwenye ziwa lisilo na mipaka. Hey. I drift away in this sweet, sweet play. Let's move, let's move, let's move, let's move. Hey, hey, that sweet love. Twende, 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 twende. Hey, all the way down, all the way down. Yeah, and it's a feeling in my soul. Feeling me up from my head to my toes. Nasio kama mapenzi, mapenzi siwezi. Then it's a feeling in my heart, feeling me up from my head to my toes. Sio kama mapenzi, mapenzi siwezi. Let's sing together. Mimi sielewi kabisa. Okay, we try one more time. Take it low, take it low, take it low. I take it low, take it low, take it low. Hey, I take it low, take it low, take it low. Wapinduru wewe. Yeah, yeah. Abatu, 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 abatu. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love it. Yeah. Nasima penzi ya kawaida, sima penzi ya kawaida, sima penzi ya kawaida. Wapinduru, thank you so much. Thank you. Wapigieni makofi. You can do better than that. Thank you so much for having me. I have enjoyed myself. I wish you love, I wish you success, and I wish you joy. Asanteni sana.
And it's a feeling in my heart, feeling in my soul, feeling me up from my head to my toe. Kama mapenzi ya kawaida.
Amazing, amazing. Can we give Wahoo and the Flower Project a round of applause? Amazing, amazing, amazing. Fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the perfect segue into our keynote address this morning. So you can see the panel is already seated. We're just about to get to them, but I'd like to invite our keynote speaker for this morning, Mr. Jules Ngankam. who is the Group Chief Executive Officer of the African Guarantee Fund. Can we give him a round of applause as he makes his way up? The floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I wish we could continue, with the concert. That is just very amazing, And I think I will see with Rebecca if you can do this launch in many rounds. This morning is the first round. Let's have many other rounds. So Mr. Chike Muya, the founder of Family Bank, Madam Rebecca Mbiti, the Managing Director and CEO of Family Bank, distinguished women in business, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to join you this morning, and I'm particularly happy to see that all the leading women in business with us here today, to all the he and she joining me today. Thank you for supporting the African women entrepreneur. This morning, when Rebecca said that there were people that was nervous, I was part of them. When I got into the room, I saw how the room was packed full with a lot of energy. I got very nervous, and I like it. So as AGF, we are very proud, once again, to be part of Family Bank journey in supporting women entrepreneurs. Our journey started back in 2015 when we issued our first guarantee, and that has been renewed twice. So it shows the commitment of Family Bank to support the local SME and, more importantly, the women SMEs. In fact, 80% of Family Bank customers are SME. And today, the bank has decided to go even further to focus not just on the SME, but on a very specific segment, the segment of SME owned and led by women. So I would also like to acknowledge that this has been made possible thanks to the program that we call AFAWA. AFAWA stands for Affirmative Finance Action for Women in Africa. It's a program that is supported by the African Development Bank and the G7 country to boost access to finance and provide technical assistance to financial institutions and women entrepreneurs across Africa. Every day, we are realizing that gender inequality is stopping the continent to achieve its full potential. Not just the women to achieve their full potential, but the entire continent. Because those women, they are mothers, they are sisters, they are wives, they are daughters. So we are all impacted. And there is a word that kept on coming this morning, gender equality. I think the best way to understand gender equality, we need to talk about the gender inequality. So let me give you a few examples of gender inequality. Now you will have a better understanding of why this program is very critical. So the first example is in agriculture. In Africa, women participate as the workforce is in that sector for 75%. So the workers in agriculture are represented by 75% of women. This is the highest in the world, the highest. And we have to be proud of that because, every time we see food in our plate, bear in mind that 75% of the people who made it possible, the food you are eating, were women. But where do we have a huge inequality? What percentage of women own agricultural land in Africa? 2 to 3%. So 75% of the workers are women, 2 to 3% owns land. That is a huge inequality. That is a huge inequality that we need to address. And that's why, as part of this Queen Banking program, access to land, the possibility of owning assets is very critical. A second example, the women participation in economy activity in Africa is the highest in the world, in the entire world. For one reason, you know, we like to talk about the housewife. You know, housewife is a concept for the Western countries. In Africa, there is no notion of housewife because all the mom, they always have an activity. The problem is that we don't count that as a professional activity. They will always sell fruit, having a small restaurant, selling clothes. So the definition of housewife doesn't exist in Africa. They are all, the program will be successful. So I conclude. I want first of all to congratulate Rebecca for your unwavering commitment to empowering women-led business in Africa. You are an example of dedication towards gender equality. When we talk about gender equality, you know what it means, because all the inequality, I'm sure that you have faced that somehow in your journey. So you are the best person today to understand what type of product, what type of feature makes sense if you want to support women. It's not often that we have the privilege to witness such a remarkable progress that fosters economic growth and financial inclusion. I hope that this serves as an inspiration to other banks, to other players in the financial sector. They need to copy the example of Family Bank because the gap is so huge. Family Bank alone will not address all the challenges that the women are facing. I think at best they will be able to cover a maximum of 10%. But how about the remaining 90%? So we are also going to share the good news with other banks, with other financial institutions to copy the example of Family Bank and offer more and more products to support women. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for attending this launch of the Queen Banking product, and I hope that you really leverage on that and you take advantage of it. Thank you very much. Asanteni.
Can we give Mr. Jules Nkangam one more round of applause? Group CEO of AGF. Now we're just about to move into, thank you. Okay, it seems I was better off with this one. Let's get into our panel discussion. This is a power panel, to say the least, of women joining me here. And we're just about to get into their journeys, their stories, hopefully some nuggets that you can get from their experiences as we move along. So allow me to briefly introduce them. And then what we'll do is have them introduce themselves. You know how you know your story better and which highlights to bring out. So I'm giving that burden to them today. We'll begin to who's closest to me, and that is Caroline Armstrong Ogwapit. She's the chair of New Faces, New Voices. Next to her is Mama Mwaura. Very good to see you again. She is a trader at Taveta Road in downtown. She'll let us know about her experience. We also have Catherine Musakali, Women on Boards and Networks, a founder. Also, Senior Counsel Judy Thongori, a seasoned family lawyer. Thank you for joining us. We also have Mudeu Kasanga, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Lukenya University. Thank you for joining us, Madam VC. And Sally Mahihu, Chair of the Kenya Investment Authority and CEO of Seasoned Woman. Can we give them a round of applause? So I guess we'll begin with you, Caroline, just to give us just a brief on you and New Faces, New Voices.
Sorry, this is making an example of how I can't use technology. So New Faces, New Voices is the organization I chair, and what we are is part of the Graça Machel Trust. So our sole purpose is the financial inclusion and the economic empowerment of women. We're across 18 countries, and Kenya is the most active. We're just over 10 years old, but we roll out multiple programs that work around economic empowerment and the financial inclusion of women. Now, the reason that became important to me, do you mind if I stand? I feel like I'm talking to myself. The reason that became important is because I was born in a line of girls, okay? So an only girl gave birth to 2 girls. I'm the daughter of a daughter, and I have birthed the daughter of a daughter, and we have the privilege of literally being the line of firsts. So the first daughter, the first granddaughter, the first great-granddaughter, and so on. So one of the questions that I had to ask myself is, of course, you are born how you are born. So I would often be asked the question of, how does it feel to do it as a woman? And I would very cheekily reply, but I've never done it as a man. But I then had to ask, does it matter to me that what I do as a woman? And does it matter to me that what I do as an African woman? And I answered that question for myself over many weeks. You'd think it would be obvious. Over many weeks, I decided, yes, it did. And that in my little way, my hummingbird way, I could make a difference for the generation coming after me, having birthed a daughter. And that's what this can do. That's what a New Faces, New Voices, which is a network, can do. It creates a ripple. One person makes a change, and you create a ripple that becomes a wave of change that impacts the next generations and those that come after us. So that's what we do.
Praise be to God. Amen. 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 Shout amen. 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 Praise be to God. Amen. I'm Mrs. Kamau. I love Jesus. He is my personal savior. Allow me to speak in Kiswahili because I'm a woman of many languages. Praise God. Bwana asifiwe sana. Kwa majina ni vile nimewaambia, na yangu nimefurahia kuwa nanyi. Yani nimewaona nikafurahia, hata ikiwa nimezoea kuwa na wamama wengi. Lakini yangu ile ningewaambia, Family Bank wamenifanyia yani ile vitendo mzuri. Bwana wabariki sana. Ndio waliajiri msichana wangu third born akiwa very young. Juu Mungu alikuwa amembariki na kipawa. Na kwa hivyo ninaona Family Bank ni mzazi. Mungu abariki ndugu wetu sana. Unajua mtu wako na maono anatakiwa kuheshimi. Kwa hivyo hata yani tukitoka hapa nje anatakiwa tu asalimiwe na wengi. Sababu create jobs for our children. Ndugu wetu akisimama nje, sasa naweza kumuita, naona hata mimi ndio next to him. According to the age. Kwa hivyo ninasikia tu nikiongea juu yake niko na furaha sana. Yangu sasa ningewaambia kwa kifupi. Mungu amenibariki na mume na watoto karibu 10. Bwana asifiwe sana. Kwa hivyo wale wa mama nyinyi mnasema watoto ni wabaya, muje niwaambie habari ya watoto. Tukitoka nje juma sana kidogo. Yani you young girls, sababu young men are not many. You young girls, you come and talk to your mother. Children are good. Hata vile tu nimesimama, watoto ni wazuri. Niruke pande ya biashara. Sababu nayo hii ndio imenisaidia sana. Kuna kijana mmoja wangu alikuja nikampeleka bank, aonyesho ile viral. Pale nilianza kukopa. Na hizo viral zote nimeenda nikijaza vizuri. Kwa hivyo hata nami ile jabu nimeongea, haya ingine imeongewa sana na watu wengi. Lakini ningesema wamama tujifunze, ukikopa loan hapa Equity usikibie family. a short story and a wonderful story. Wakati moja tulienda Turkey na msichana moja young. Nikamwambia wacha tupite hapa tusalimie rafiki mwingine. Alikuwa almost to faint sababu alikuwa na deni kwa hivyo hangepita hiyo njia. Sasa nikaona hiyo shida ikiwa kubwa sana. Kwa hivyo leo ningewaambia wale wa mama tunafanya biashara, ikiwa uko kwa Equity, Family Bank, na banki hizo zingine, jaribu kukamilisha loan. Hiyo ndio na ni dawa moja moyoni. Hata ukikutana na Rose, you know Rose, I love you so much. Ukikutana na Rose ni kukunywa kachai kwa furaha sababu hujatoroka na deni ya. Kwa hivyo yangu ningewaambia wa mama, dawa ya deni ni kulipa na mkunywe sana. God bless you. Okay, my business is in Taveta Road. If your mother is old, if your dad is old, come to me. Mimi ndio ninawafalisha. Unajua sasa sisi tulipo tuko na miaka 60-70 ni vitambaa na kuvaa vile Paulo alisema. Unajua sasa kuna vile Paulo alisema sisi wa mama tuheshimu bwana zetu, na kitu moja ya kuheshimu mabwana ni kuvaa vizuri. Mnanisikiza? Kwa hivyo wale wanavaa vibaya wakuje niwaambie na niwaeleze maandiko. God bless you.
Fantastic.
Oh
Go
my
ahead,
goodness. It's actually a tough act following Mama. Good morning, everybody. My name is Catherine Musakali, and I'm a co-founder and chair of the Women on Boards Network. Rose is a wonderful member of the Women on Boards Network, and I know that we have a few more members here. Who are our members here? I can see some hands up. Thank you so much. So the Women on Boards Network is about just ensuring that, corporate boards are more diverse than they are. We were set up in 2014. We are going to be 10 years next year. And it's just about ensuring that we have a networking platform, we have a database for women, and that all corporate boards cannot respond to me the way they used to do, to say, where do we find the women? And even the women we have on our boards don't speak. So that is who we are, and we do hope that many of you will be able to join the network so that we can, grow this movement. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. My name is Judith Ongori, and I'm very happy to be here this morning. And Rose is my friend. I got married in 1994. Rose was on my lineup, and we have continued together. And where she goes, I go. Her people are my people, so Family Bank, I am your person now. But I am a family lawyer, and I like to say that I am a family lawyer by choice. And the reason I chose to be a family lawyer is when I recognized just how defining families are. The family of origin, that's where you come from, and the family of choice, those who you choose to be your family, your spouse, your children. They make us. And I always like to tell people, the ones who are gathered here today, you are here because your families were okay. For those who didn't make it, it's most likely because their families were not okay. So we are who families make us. But most of all, I just want to spend 1 minute saying why I'm so excited working with Family Bank on the launch of women banking, because I think that you have recognized that women have faced different challenges, the greatest of all, which is socialization. Because why don't we have access to credit? Why don't we have access to security? Why do we own only one share in a company of 100 shares? Why is it that it's not until conflict when you come to Judith Ongori's office that you tell me, Judy, I've been in this business for the last 50 years. I only have one share. I just realized now. It is because of the socialization. Because we were socialized to take the second place. Because we were socialized not to ask uncomfortable questions, because we were socialized not to take the power to seem to apologize. But guess who is the greatest socializer? It is the woman. And I want to just spend a minute just demonstrating that to you. I want you to look at the big whole wide world. It's very intimidating because it's huge, isn't it? But I want us to break it down. From the big wide world, we come to Africa, continent Africa. From continent Africa, I want us to come down to country Kenya. From country Kenya, I want us to come down to the county. From the county, I want us to go down to sub-county. From the sub-county, where do we go to? The wards. From the wards, where do we go to? And from the villages, where do we go to? And who is in charge of homes? Bwana. But who is actually in charge of the homes? Who is it that teaches their children how to be? Who is it that tells little boys, you must not be cowed down? No woman should talk down to you. Who is it that tells little girls, it is your turn to go to the kitchen, it's your turn to wear this and to wear this? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that the greatest potential of this nation, and indeed the world, lies in the women. In women recognizing the power that they have. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm in Family Bank. I'm in Family Bank during the worst time an educator could have been. If you know, March 2020, 15th, the president announced that schools are closing. And just like that, like we like to say, the reggae stopped. Just like that, simply. And there are a few educators, I have Claudia, my friend here, you know, we felt something that only us can define. And like any other sector, absolutely any other sector, for us, it is like a door shut. And that was it. There were no windows. We were in a windowless room. One meeting with the founder. During COVID, when we were busy breaking COVID rules, we socialized by force. And we joined family. Deep dive, feet head first, and built a whole brand new institution during COVID. Built the biggest library in Eastern, Lower Eastern, in Ukambani. Bigger than any public university through Family Bank. So me, I'm like somebody who got saved yesterday. I sing, dance, eat, sleep, family. I am like that, like this. I know I'm going to Family Bank, Family Bank. Those who came with me in the lift, I was hugging managers, Nani. I know my region, Yote, all the way. I call them like this. So me, I'm there, singing praise and worship for Family Bank. I am a teacher by profession. I sit on boards. I don't know why we talk. This is a conversation. I am an advocate for children and women. I'm a Rotarian where I see poverty in women. Right now, we are trying as a Rotary Club to just try and grasp how we can get open up access for just literacy. Because it is women. I've been to parts, I come from Lukenya. Lukenya is, literally, Expressway has made, Expressway has made this real. I'm not lying, it is literally just there. So we border Kajiado County. Yes, it is, now it is. I'm not lying, it's 15 minutes. You're in Ukambani, just like that, Panda, if you go. And the one thing that shocks to this day and age, when you just go to Kitengela, we are not even going far. And you meet these women who cannot even speak Kiswahili, who tell you they're selling you beads. I wear beads a lot. Today I've not worn beads, I wear. They tell you, they give you a number on a paper, and they point, and they speak in Kimasai, wake up. And then you ask, because there's always somebody you can ask to translate. Is this your phone? They tell you, no, it is my husband's phone. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that in me, I'm here, I have never walked to school barefoot. My mother did, not me. Yeah? So me, I don't have a grand story for suffering. I'm your child. So your child is not suffering, I'm your child. Me, I didn't suffer. And I'm not apologetic. My mother suffered for me. So me, I have no grand story. But it is not that we have to sit and forget that there are women who suffer and continue to suffer while I wear my high heels and don't know what else. Yeah? So I'm here, proud of this journey that Family Bank is taking, that it is going to work with women. I look at I've known Rose for a very long time. So I look at all of us as women, and I look at the men who are here. And in women's studies, we say it is he for she. Yeah? There are doors we cannot open without the men. We cannot not empower. The other problem that is also there, we give birth to boys, and we are seeing the iko shida. Our daughters don't have boys to marry. So iko shida ingine. But in the meanwhile, we are not stopping this onward and forward journey. Mudeu Kasanga is my name. I teach English. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm really, really learning so much. My name is Sally Mahihu, as you were told. And I am a lawyer by profession. I've practiced law in private practice for 37 years. I'm also the current chairperson of Kenya Investment Authority. And this is like what most of us older women, we are the older women in the room, say your give back time. You know, when you sit as chair of a board, it's not about the money. It's not about a big allowance. It's about what you can do for your nation and your society and give back. And I like what Rebecca said, that now that we've celebrated her as a woman CEO in the bank, now it's her turn to give us back. There always has to be a give back time. But more importantly, my passion, I also sit on the National Investment Council, which is chaired by the President, His Excellency, and we unlock hurdles and challenges that are hindering investments in Kenya. I'm currently very, very passionate about investments in this nation, facilitating promotions and attracting those investments. That's the mandate of Kenya Investment Authority. I've gone in head first, diving in and doing the work. They always look at me and they say, you know, you're not being paid for this job. Why are you putting your hours in all this? I say, that's the point. It's my passion that my people, my nation, should be in a better place after I leave that sector. But what I want to really tell you, what is my real passion, is the Seasoned Woman Forum. I founded this a couple of years ago. Maybe now we're going on to 10 years. And what we do with the Seasoned Woman Forum, my burden was because I came across women loaded with talent, skills, competence. Every woman around me was just such a powerhouse. And I used to say to myself, do we know how loaded we are, how powerful we are, how knowledgeable we are? What are we doing with that? How are we impacting? How are we transforming? And I teach about, when I do the mentorship programs, I teach about the 7 mountains of influence, where I say each one of us is called or ordained to influence a particular sector in society, whether it's business and economy, like Rebecca, whether it is media, whether it is politics and governance, like our politician women here, whether it is family, church, entertainment and arts, like Wahoo. We are all called to a particular mountain in society. Now, our mandate from God is to make sure that when you step into that place, you influence it, you transform lives, you change the bad that you found and bring the good. And ultimately, you leave a legacy on that mountain. You are a voice on that mountain that cannot be ignored. When they want government policies, even global organizations want policy, let your name be the name they call. Let your name be, it cannot be ignored. Your voice cannot be ignored because you have footprints on your mountain and you're making a difference. So I have a program, a mentorship program based on 7 pillars. And those 7 pillars I call the 7 Ps. We deal with your person. Who are you? Who are you born to be? Are you living the authentic self? Because unless you are operating as the who you are born to be, then you cannot be effective. The second P is about purpose. Are you actually doing what you are born and gifted and ordained to do? Madam Wamushomba told us how she was supposed to work in the bank. You know, sometimes people have agendas for us. They purpose for us. But you must be the one to be strong enough like her to say, this doesn't feel like my place of purpose. This doesn't feel like my place of assignment. This is not where I feel my giftings have been gifted for. Finding your purpose. Where are you? What have you been created to do? What were you born to do? You must find that place, whatever it is, because it is in that place, it is in that purpose that you will thrive the most. because you thrive in what you have been gifted, ordained, and skilled to do. The other P is your place, the mountain of influence. Where are you supposed to be? Locating that place is crucial because, again, as I say, you can only thrive. There's a grace to thrive where in your place of assignment, in your place of purpose. When you go to the wrong mountain, I purport to be a media personality and I'm not. I will not thrive. I will wither there. I have to be in a place where the giftings are there, I'm ordained there, and sharpen my gifts there, and fulfill my purpose there. Now, the other P is your people. Relationships, networks are crucial when it comes to you fulfilling and doing what you need to do successfully. You must learn who are your people. Who are my destiny helpers? Who am I supposed to walk this journey with? Disconnect from wrong relationships and friendships that are wasting your time, and connect to the right friendships and relationships and networks that are propelling you to finish your journey and fulfill your purpose and destiny. And the other P is your process. What we must constantly remember is that everything we will ultimately succeed in doing has to go, there's a process to it. You don't wake up, microwave and succeed overnight. There's a process. There is a price to pay. There's sacrifices to be made. And learning how to survive that process and remain strong and even grow stronger from it is key. That's my P on process. You must survive the storms of life. Just because you underwent a divorce doesn't mean you suddenly resign from the bank. You must be able to survive every storm and stand and continue. You must be able to smile in the rain. You know, sometimes I say, if you knew what I left at my home, if you knew the madgodos and madenas in my own life, and yet I'm standing here with red lipstick and talking to you, you think I have no issues. But all of us have issues. In fact, if we were told that everybody here, come and say what's wrong, we would take 3-4 days here. But we show up, we smile, and we empower other women. We don't have excuses. So that's the process. And then the other P is your principles. Your principles. I strongly believe that if we're going to make a mark, a good mark, leave a good legacy, we must do it the right way. We must have values. There must be integrity. There must be dignity. We mustn't step on each other to get to where we are getting. We don't have to sleep with the boss to get the promotion. We can make it through principles and values and ethics and come out strong. And at the end of the day, they'll point at you and say, she got to where she got, and she didn't break the rules. She pleased God in the way she handled her issues. And then the last P, the seventh P, is about your prize with a Z. You've paid the price with a C. You get the prize with a Z. There's always a reward. You find yourself having come to a certain level in society, in the corporate sector, wherever it is you are. And those promotions and those and your influence, and those are rewards. That's what I call the prize. It's never in vain. Ultimately, you will lay hold of the prize you're supposed to lay hold of once you do it right. When it comes to the woman, empowering the woman, you can empower me with technical skills. And technical skills, in fact, I find we are so clever. You know me, I've never come across a foolish woman. We are clever. We have the degrees, we have the MBAs. You know, we have the technical skills. My heartbeat and my burden is that those technical skills, my law degree, my master's in law, must be supported by the right soft skills. If I don't have character, if I don't have manners, if I've got bad habits, if I have dysfunctions and no emotional intelligence, if I don't have the soft skills, I will collapse in the technical skills. We've seen women who come to a very high place of appointment. You can even be top in a sector. You've just been, then one little issue, a little soft skill brings you tumbling down. And that's what I teach. How do we work on the soft skills to support the technical hard skills so that we're holistic in everything we do? Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sally. See, this is what happens when you give a handheld mic to some power women and the gooseneck mics refuse to work. It becomes a motivational session, but absolutely fantastic. I think I'll just ask one question to all of you, because we need to wrap this up. But let me start with you, Caroline, because you talked about the lineage you come from, being the first of first in terms of a woman. I know New Faces, New Voices is really big on financial inclusion in the Gracia Machel Trust. How important and why is it important to have a gender lens, especially as a financial institution, when tackling the needs of women?
can't help it, I have to stand. Women, very simply put, are different. We live different lives, we face different pressures, and like Sally said, we will get up and smile every day and do what needs to be done and deal with what needs to be dealt with. But we do have less access to finance and therefore less access to our own economic empowerment, but we're doing it. So when we look at the statistics of GDP and everything, it's not because we're not doing it, it's because we're not counted. So it's not measured. Our contributions are not measured. We're not able to access finance, and for three main reasons. One, we do have less education. Even if you look at the Kenyan statistics, we drop out. Okay, first of all, across this country, so we have less education. We have less income. We earn less income. And in Kenya, sadly, the gender pay gap is growing. We've gone from 31% 4 years ago to 46%. So now look at the man next to you and ask him what his paycheck is. Yeah. The pay gap is 46%, okay? So we're earning less than men in similar jobs. Also because we're not asking. Yeah. We undervalue ourselves, okay? And then we do what I call, we're over-thankful. We go into a meeting, we go into negotiation, we go and ask for anything. Okay, so we'll go and ask for a paycheck, we'll ask for a figure, whatever it may be, and then they give it to us. We'll go ask for a loan, and then it will be given to us. And we go, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you so much. First of all, the person giving it to you has targets, okay? They have a portfolio, they have expectations that they also must meet. So wait for them after you say thank you, for them to thank you. Okay? So the second is income. Then assets, we talked about it. To just take the most obvious one is land ownership. So how many of us in this room were shocked when we discovered that Africa's land ownership is 2 to 3%? We all knew? Okay, what is Kenya's? It's 1. It's 1. 1, this one finger is how much we own. So in this room, we own this corner of the stage is what we actually own, okay, in terms of land ownership. So we don't have the assets, which is why the unsecured facilities become critical. I keep saying that looking through the gender lens is different because we face different things. We also drive economies. We trade. We've been trading for the longest time. We've been trading in the communities in which we live for the longest time. We have been the biggest providers of credit. We are the best risk. Ask M-Pesa. Where is the volume of M-Shwari loans? Where is the volume? What part of the day is the volume of M-Shwari loans? It's just before sunrise. Why is that? Because we're going to the market. We're buying goods and they're paid off before 11 a.m. Okay? So we are the best risk. I used to work, I was in banking for, there's a point where you lose count. I think it was 22 years. Okay? In those 22 years, how many times did we have, especially a mortgage in trouble, mortgaged usually by the husband, and when it would get into trouble, we'd say, go get your wife. Go get your wife. What do you think would happen to the performance of the loan? You see, we all know the answers. It turns around, okay, because she's not going to let it go. But by the same token, she will apply for funding. Globally, women in Africa get less than 0.05 of global funding available. The numbers just get smaller and smaller. Yet in Africa, we are half the population. The smallest population in Africa is 47% women. Smallest. Okay? So you start to look at the numbers, we're only 30% of entrepreneurs, but we're not getting the funding. You look at the size of a ticket, we need $10,000. The only people that want to talk to us are $100,000. Okay, so we don't qualify to actually get the money. So we can't grow. And the funding gap released in July by actually African Development Bank is $42 billion is the funding gap between men and women. We are a better risk. Even the UN said lend to women is simply smart economics. We build GDPs, we build communities, we're natural traders, We are naturally a better risk. We have the ideas, we just need them to be banked and funded for us. So it's actually almost obvious. And like somebody said, having women at the table is inclusion. I think we need to move beyond or redefine. Because what we do is we go over here and then we ask women for their opinions. Okay? Then they go back to the room and make the decisions. Then they come back to us and tell us, and this is what we decided. Say thank you. Yeah? Inclusion must be different, is we have to be at the table. So when you see propositions built by women for women, those start to become winners. They start to change the dynamic for all of us. And every single one of us should be accessing it. Okay? And if we're not accessing it, we should be enabling others to access it. We can make changes, we can control, and sometimes it means the shouting that we were talking about. But it also means equity. It's moving from equality, which is fighting for our rights. You can't ignore half a population, surely. Fighting for our rights. To equity, where it's just fair access to opportunities. It just must be fair, not fighting for our rights. So the gender lens is not optional for success. It is mandatory.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Caroline. Let me come to you, Catherine, because you talked about getting more women on boards. We know the challenge there here in Kenya. I'm going to spare you all the numbers. We know unconscious bias exists. We know the tiara syndrome of women waiting to be handed something exists. So how do you change the culture, the attitudes within organizations to create more of that gender diversity within the board?
Thank you very much, Vicky. I think the first thing you have to do is to create awareness. Create awareness about the problem. And it's not about women speaking to themselves, but women working with each other and also with men. Because if you create awareness in women, but the men are not aware of what you're doing, then you're not actually getting where you want to be. So ensuring that within organizations, you have policies that support, gender diversity, policies that support women rising into leadership, policies that recognize the special circumstances that women have. In this country, I look forward to having more and more organizations that have gender-enabling policies. Policies such as, start from gender budgeting. As an organization, you have X number of women, X number of women are going to go on leave, you budget for them. So that you don't take that leave that they take when they go on maternity leave as a cost. It's already budgeted for within your, your numbers. Two, just ensuring that you have things like job share. Why must I work 5 days a week if I don't want to work 5 days a week as a woman? Why? Why can't I share a job with Caroline if I don't mind getting half the money and she can go and look after her children and I look after my children the rest of the time? Telecommuting, allowing women to work from home. The other thing that we must do as organizations is to build the capacity of our women. Intentionally start from hiring women and helping them visualize for themselves where they need to be. Let me tell you, when you join an organization and you focus on being a CEO from day one, you work towards that. CEO roles, as Rebecca will tell you, don't just come by, oops, I've become a CEO. You have purposed to become a CEO. Your organization has supported you to become a CEO. You have grown your capacity to becoming a CEO, and therefore you find yourself in that role. The more we have women at the decision-making table, the more we can influence the policies around gender diversity, gender equality, so on and so forth. The other thing we must do is to ensure that we create a pipeline. At Women on Boards Network, we do have a junior wing that starts from right at the age of 12. And the reason is simple, that you must grow up knowing that you want to get there. You want to get to the top. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to run your own business. And so making sure that that pipeline does not start when we have already started working is important. Let's reach out to all the young girls. Let's, teach them about business. Let's teach them about, being the best in their game. Let's teach them about ensuring that they're the best leaders that they can be. So capacity building is important. Tackling stereotypes and unconscious bias, not just in women alone, but also in men. Even as women ourselves, we have our own biases. And one of the things that I come across amongst us women is, I'm not good enough. So we don't put ourselves forward. And studies have shown that women will apply for a role when they tick, how much? 100%. How many? 100% of the job requirements. But men? 60%. So are you surprised when the man who qualifies, who has the 60% requirements, gets the job and you don't get it? You shouldn't, because you did not put yourself forward. You shouldn't. So just teaching and helping women to actually put themselves forward is important. Let me end by speaking about Me Limited. There is an organization called Me Limited, and Me Limited is me. So say your name and say limited at the end. Catherine Limited, I have to work on Catherine Limited if I want to get somewhere. Why do we spend time talking about strategy for companies, talking about risk management for companies, talking about acquiring customers for clients, talking about the future, innovation, so on and so forth for companies, and we forget ourselves? So what is our strategy for getting where we want to be? What is our risk management strategy around the challenges that we face? How do we manage, the issues? Every one of us has things that draw them back. How do we manage them? How do you build Me Limited so that you're the best there is? And you must focus on Me Limited from a point of yourself, and Sally talked about this, your own behaviors, your own character, your own, all of you. And nobody talks about you better than you do. So you must be able to articulate your skills. Secondly, from a professional perspective, spend time, developing your professional, career, so on and so forth. But lastly, networking. And networking in the right places. We miss out on opportunities as women because we don't network in the right places. And the networks that men have may not necessarily work for us. Let's create our own networks. Meet Caroline, meet Sally, meet Vicky. They'll tell you about the opportunities that they are there. And hold each other's hand and speak about each other and propel each other. If I cannot take on a board position because I don't have any more capacity to do that, why can't I say Judy is available? So that we are helping each other get to where we want to be. But Me Limited is really the key to ensuring that women are sitting at the decision-making table, that women are developing themselves, including financial inclusions that we have talked about. So please, let's start from today and let's work on who we are, even as we talk about what others can do for us. Let's talk about what we need to resolve within ourselves so that we get to those decision-making tables. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Judy, let me come to you as we quickly talk about sustainability of business. And we know that's linked to continuity. When you're advising, for instance, a women-owned business and they counter some legal issues, what are the most common that you find? And what kind of advice do you give them to kind of circumvent them as they continue with the growth of their business?
Thank you, Victoria. Like I said from the beginning, I'm a family lawyer. So from that perspective, I think the greatest challenge to business continuity is unresolved conflict. and there is unresolved conflict at the business level and at the family level. And what happens when you have unresolved conflict is that it saps your energy, it saps your finances, it saps a lot, and it continues to rumble, you know, like a volcano about to erupt. Eventually it erupts. So what would I like to say to women here? That unresolved conflict in a business situation is easy to deal with in the sense that it's been happening. It's following me. So, conflict in a business setting is easy to deal with because it's been happening from time immemorial. Our processes have been invested, laws are in place, people to help you with it are there. But it's not so for family conflict. First of all, even to know that you have a family conflict is not the easiest of things. I see people telling me, you know, I'm feeling out of sorts, you know, I don't know what's going on. Some of them even go to see doctors before they know that what they're dealing with is conflict at the family level. But then also, it takes away their ability to put their best in their business because they're out of sorts. But even when they recognize that there is family conflict, it is very difficult to seek support, to seek conflict resolution services. For some people, to come to my office, they must have to wear something over their head, or a kofia for that matter, because if you come to my office, people know that you are likely to be having a family conflict. And the reason is because of the stigmatization that we face in the society. And what does unresolved conflict do in a family situation? In a business situation? So you don't feel like getting up to go to work because of the unresolved conflict. Therefore, a lot of potential is wasted as a result of that. And then what happens is that if you're in business with your spouse or with your siblings and you're facing conflict, there's a very high likelihood that the business as you know it is not going to be the same once it's exposed to the courts, isn't it? And the legal infrastructure. So what do? You don't have any more the energy to continue serving in it. And people tell me, Judy, where am I going to put in any more energy in it? And I don't know how it will end up, isn't it? So we have seen big businesses, huge supermarkets chain, banks and others collapse because of conflict at the family level. So what am I saying? In the end, we need to have the ability to sense conflict. We need to have the ability and the capacity to seek conflict resolution. And I'm here to tell you that conflict resolution does not mean that you have to go to court. We have arbitration available. We have mediation services available. We have a lot of things that you could do to resolve conflict before it gets the better of you. The other challenge that I think women face, especially, is because of lack of, how do I say, intentionality. And maybe the word should not be lack of, okay? Intentionality in how they own their businesses. Like I said at the beginning when I was introducing, many a time, a woman will have put everything she has in a business only to find at the point of conflict that she owns only one share, okay? Or she, in fact, does not own anything in that business because it could be a business name. Chances are that she found the business operating, she came in, gave it all her all, but never checked how that business is owned. It's the same thing with access to security, that as we have been told here, we only own 1% of agricultural land, yet we are the ones who farm it. So again, intentionality. But also then knowing that there are certain things will be unable to change because certain things are the way they are. It's the way we are socialized to do. But can we ensure that those who come after us, those women, those girls, those boys who come after us will find a better place? Therefore, succession planning, intentional succession planning, because we are only mortal, we are only human beings. We are going to expire at some point. Can we be intentional about that? But also about estate planning. Why must the ones who come after us go through the same thing that we've gone through? What is it that we can do to ensure that the wealth we have worked for is continued, goes to the next generation, is divided in a manner in which our girls no longer have 1% of the agricultural land, but have 50% of the agricultural land and other resources? Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Judy. pertinent information coming out there. Mudeu, let me come to you. The image that stuck in my mind from what you shared earlier on was the woman who had the phone owned by her husband, right? And that spoke to the power dynamics that exist in our households. How are you as an institution offering that access, especially when it comes to financial literacy and empowering women further?
Quite a difficult one. As an educator, first, for me personally, is to keep every girl in school where I can. But the bigger problem lies in our poverty bands, where predominantly government is handling this issue. And that's where you get these statistics that are just appalling, where you hear girls 4 days a month are not in school, and therefore just the chance of success disappears while we are all watching as a country. And while the government has done quite a lot, I can tell you for free, right now the government does supply sanitary towels to all girls in public schools. It is the kids then who are not in school who are not served. And there's a surprisingly big number of children who still are not accessing education. And we need to keep working at that. For me now as an educator, I have to turn that question back to me and back to Family Bank somehow. Like I explained, I am your child. I'm that one who has not suffered. Okay? I am married and I work not in my family of choice, but in my birth family. Are you already seeing the problems? Yeah? Are you already seeing the problems? Perhaps why I'm still called Mudeu Kasanga. I don't come as Mrs. Swanso. Yeah? Are you seeing the problem? I'm a woman still at home. I am married, I have my children. Are you seeing what Judy was saying there about how women's wealth can disappear and does disappear? A small statistic that is very important is that women live longer than men. As of 2021, men, average Kenya, this is Kenya, you can Google this is available online. Men live for 58.94 years. Women live for 64. And as healthcare improves, women live longer, despite the workload that we carry. The man of the family dies, and the issues Judy has raised come up. They come up. So how do you prepare this? It is knowledge. It is knowledge. I have worked in my family business for 31 years. I remember the point at which my father converted all the businesses they held with his wife from partnerships to companies. And that was the turning point. Because then